Hey everybody, Ryan here at etrailer. Today on our 2013 Ford Explorer, we're going to be taking a look at the CURT Premium Hitch Mounted Bike Rack. The rack that we have here today is going to carry up to a total of 4 bikes, but if you need to carry an extra one, there's also a 5-bike version available as well. The bike is going to be held in place by 3 straps. We're going to have 2 here along the top tube and 1 down here. Now this one down here is going to act as a anti-sway strap, and that's going to prevent that side-to-side movement. That way you don't have to worry about your bikes banging into each other. But with that being said, let's go ahead and remove our bike so we can take a closer look at the rack itself. What you're going to do is just pull down on them straps and flip them out of the way. Just grab our bike and slide it off. So the cradles here, where your bike's frame is going to rest, are going to be somewhat adjustable, and that's going to accommodate different types of frames. And we're going to have a bunch of different anchors, or tie-down points rather. That way it gives you a lot of different options on where you can tie your bike down and allow you to use just about any type of bike for that matter. I will say the straps are nice and thick, and I could see these lasting a long time. I don't really see sun fading or them getting stretched out being too big of an issue, so that's always nice. Now I do recommend, whenever you're not using the rack, just to put those straps back in place. That way we don't have to worry about accidentally losing them. So one of the things that does kind of separate this rack from some of the other ones is towards the end of the rack it does get narrow, and that's going to do a couple of things. One of them being it's going to make it a little bit easier to actually work your bike off the rack when you do go to pull it off. And this is also going to work good for smaller frame bikes, like children's bikes for example. The cradles are going to be a little bit closer, and it's going to be a little bit more manageable to get those smaller bikes on the rack correctly. So the rack is going to extend the overall length of our Explorer by quite a bit. Now if we take a measurement from the hatch to the edge of the rack, it looks like it's going to be about 41 inches. So that's something you definitely want to keep in mind when you're pulling into your garage or maybe even that tight parking spot. The good news is, however, though, the arms actually do fold down, and that's going to free up quite a bit of space. The way we're going to do that is remove this clip and pull out our pin. Now if you are traveling with the rack in this position, you want to make sure to put that pin back in place. That way it'll keep everything nice and tight. But if you take that same measurement now in this position, looks like it's only going to add about 13 inches to the back of our Explorer. So in this position, it shouldn't give you any issues at all whenever you go to pull in your garage or that tight spot. And one of the big questions we get asked in regards to hitch mounted bike racks is if you're still going to be able to have full access to your hatch. The answer is yes with this one. It does fold down out of the way. And what we do, if you move down here to this section, we're going to have a knob. We're going to loosen that up. You can take this clip and pull it out, allowing us to remove the pin. And we're going to have a lever right here. We'll just pull up on that, and then the rack can swing down and out of the way. That's going to give us more than enough room to get anything we might need in and out of the back of our Explorer. So the hitch is going to work with the 2-inch by 2-inch receiver tube openings like we have here today, and it's also going to come included with a anti-rattle bolt. That bolt pretty much replaces the traditional style hitch pin, and what that's going to do is eliminate any play or slop here in the connection point. So not only is that going to make for a quieter ride inside of our Ford and a smoother ride for our bikes, but the rack isn't going to get tossed around as much. So just to give you an example, you can see if I grab the rack, it's actually going to move with our Explorer and not by itself. So at the end of the day, a great compact way to carry a lot of bikes around. And it's going to be really well built and should last a long time. And not to mention, I personally think it looks pretty good in the stored position on the back of the Explorer.
Here on our test course, we'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action. This simulates turning corners or evasively maneuvering. Once we get to the alternating speed bumps, we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement. Once we get to the full speed bumps, we'll see the up and down action. This will be just like driving in and out of a parking lot, parking garage, or driveway.
And that'll finish up our look at of the CURT Premium Hitch Mounted Bike Rack on our 2013 Ford Explorer.